What's up out there? We are back, some more Path of Exile and another update for my Cyclone Berserker. I've got a few passive changes that I've made, minor gear tweaks that I have made and will make here as I go, and basically just wanted to do a little update video. So, since the last time I showed this off, I've fought the Maven another couple of times, maybe either 2 or 4 times, I can't remember now. It's been like a week ago. So I fought her another 2 times. I got her to the point, I think it was 4 times. I think twice I fought her, and one of those times I got down into the spoke section that spins around. I got her all the way down to say 10, maybe 15% life, and she went right into a memory game, and I only had the 1 portal left. I am horrible at dodging those spokes in the first place, and then to put a memory game on top of it, it just wasn't happening. I ended up dying off, and I think I bought another attempt with a couple of divines. It was costing me 2 divines to buy 1 Maven attempt, and then I ground out another Maven fight. So when I did all that, I fought 2 more times. I got down to that spoke part. I can't beat that part. I'm really struggling with it no matter what I do. I've got dash in here. Somebody suggested putting dash in, so I put that in there. I will use leap slam because I'm used to leap slam on the space bar, and then I swap dash in so that I could use that in the later part of the fight where the spoke is and get around things. So that way I didn't have to just swap over to dash or something like that. I can just use it as I need while still having leap slam. So I just can't get through the fight. And when I left things off, I don't know, a week ago, whenever the last time I tried that was, it might have been last weekend, I guess. I'm not sure. I didn't have enough of these maps to actually go and do build up crescents or whatever to get more Maven attempts. So it was going to be me running a lot of maps. And I've came back and done a few things. Like I leveled up this character. He is now level 97, I think. So I've generated a few more maps. I have definitely got enough of these that I could probably run 2 of those and get 6. I could probably take this and convert this over, and there's another 9. And I've got a couple of fragments, so I could probably generate another Maven attempt. But I think what I want to do is just take a little break from the game for a while. And when I say break from Path of Exile, I don't mean necessarily completely quit playing. What I plan on doing is taking this build and getting it to level 100, or making the attempt at least to get to level 100. And right now, I could go grind out some stuff and maybe do I know we don't lose XP on the Maven fight anymore, but you do when you try to do these boss fights. So I might try to run some of these and build up some of those splinters and all that. But I'm going to put that on hold for a little bit. The build is doing really well. I've made some adjustments we'll talk about, but I do want to kind of take some time off. We've got Titan Quest 2 out now. I'm playing that a little bit. And then we've got the Battlefield 6 beta coming out. I'm very excited to try that out this weekend. But I wanted to engineer some time off so that I could get away and do some other things. So I think I've got, aside from beating the Maven, I've got everything I wanted to do done for this league, which I'll still try to get that done. I'll still try to fight her some more. And I do want to attempt and work towards level 100. So it's not like I'm going to quit playing altogether. I'm just going to play less than I normally do. So I'll probably be back hot and heavy into it here and there. But anyway, I did try a couple of more times. I did not get successful on it. In the last video, somebody commented, I guess we'll go in here. Somebody commented that they didn't think I had enough evasion rating to use iron reflexes, and that they recommended that I swap over to hybrid gear. So I've started that process. I need to, because I do SSF, I do everything myself. I need to go get up some harvest juice and all that. I need to get some gloves and another helmet swapped out, but I did get my boots changed over. So I've got that going on in here. I don't want to get rid of iron reflexes. I like it. And I think with the combination of armor and evasion, I can get more armor out of it. So that's kind of the goal of doing that. So I'm going to do that. I got my boots swapped out, and I fortunately had an essence that gave me 32% increased movement speed, and it gave me some good fire and cold res along with some life regen and stuff like that. So this was a decent swap when I got that crafted up. Real easy craft. The other changes that I've made, and I don't remember everything I did exactly, but I'm pretty sure at some point I looked at these 2 points right here, which give you basically combined 12% increased max life. And I realized that I could come up to these 2 points and get 15% increased max life, as well as plus 20 on top of it to max life. So I made that change. I got a little bit more life. I think I was at 4,300, 4,400 life, and now I'm up at 4,800. I think I made some other change in here, and I don't remember exactly. Oh, you know, I might have tinkered around with Slaughter and Wrecking Ball. I can't remember if that was in the last video or not, but I feel like I made those changes, and that was the other changes that I made. So I ended up, what I did is in POB, I unchecked this node here, so it took all 4 of these off. And then in POB, you can tell it to run and give you the power report and all that, and tell you what like the combined DPS would give you, you know, something higher or whatever. And it told me that Harvester of Foes at some point was better. In fact, I don't remember which I swapped out, whether it was Slaughter for Harvester of Foes or Wrecking Ball. One of the two I swapped over for that. No, it was Wrecking Ball. And the thing that I don't understand is it gave me in numbers, like 1 million damage or 2 million damage, whatever it was, I think I'm at like 3.2 million damage or something like that. So if I had this selected, it would show that I was doing 3.2 whatever million damage. But then when I ran the power report, it said this gave me more damage. But when I took these points off and put these points on, it's weird. Even though POB is the one that was telling me this gave me more damage and that I would get more damage, you know, I didn't have this selected and I didn't have this selected, but it said come over here for more damage. But when I clicked on this and selected it in POB, it was slightly less damage than what Wrecking Ball was. But I was looking at Wrecking Ball, it's got some stun duration and stuff like that I don't do anything with stun. And this one's got increased impale effect, which I presume is why it's saying it does more damage. But I'm a little unclear why I can toggle this off and this on and it shows more damage in POB, but yet it's the power report says this is better. You would think if the increased impale effect made that much of a difference and that it could see it in its recommendation calculation, that it would see it in like the actual calculation. So I might not have something calculated or something selected correctly or not, but at any rate, it basically told me to swap this for that, and I did. And then I was looking at Slaughter. I thought, okay, well, what happens if I just uncheck Slaughter in POB and see what comes up? And it actually showed that Brutal Skewering and Forceful Skewering were better than this Slaughter over here. So then I thought, well, which one do I want to anoint and which one do I want to actually path to? And oddly enough, it works out. This one's 5 nodes away, so I anointed that so I didn't have to spend the extra node. But this worked out to be better damage. So Brutal Skewering works out better to be path to, probably because it's only 4 away, and then I can anoint that on. So I've made that change. I've got Forceful Skewering anointed in, and we're doing a little bit more damage and surviving a little bit more. I might have added this endurance charge, increased armor per endurance charge and evasion per frenzy charge. I might have taken that mastery. That might have been another change. But I think that was kind of it. And then the other thing I did is I leveled up to 97, which was actually far easier than I thought it was going to be. I started dying a little bit more than I want. Like I died in Delve. I normally do a lot of leveling in Delve, and I try to stay up 143, 145, whatever it is. Right when you get to level 83, it's somewhere, it's not depth 150, but it's just shy of 150. Maybe it's 147. Right when the level 83 monsters are there, that's where I usually go around. But I ended up dying, and I don't know why. I don't know. Delve just threw a curve at me, and I died, and I went from like 73% XP to 63. I was like, this sucks. I need to do something different. So I ended up setting up my passive tree, and I died again with the passive tree that I had. But I ended up setting, that should say Abyss. But I ended up setting this up for both Abyss and Breach. And then I was reading somewhere that people were talking about using Eater Altars for like increased monsters and things like that. So I was like, well, I'm kind of in the neighborhood. So I set this all up for Abyss and Breach, and then I died to Tool in one of the breaches. So I was like, all right, I'm going to pull all that out. So I've retweaked this a little bit, and I'm basically focusing in on trying to get some scarabs from unique monsters and stuff like that. A little more scarab chance over here, but pretty much all in on Breach. And then I was running the, where are those? There's some breach scarabs, and I can't remember where they're at. I'm sorry, not breach, abyss down here. So you can gain additional abysses. So I would run like 2 different stacks of them. And that gives you like, you have a chance for an abyss in your map to begin with. And then this gives you like 2 more abysses, as well as, I don't remember what else I was running. I think I had Scarab of Multitudes, and then there's the other one in here, the Monstrous Lineage. I was running those too. So between all that, where you get like all the increased pack sizes and everything, man, you actually level up fairly quickly. It was not bad. I survived. Like I said, I died to a tool and breach, but I survived all of I didn't die once to an abyss, and I thought it was amazing. I was like, this is great. The wild thing is I did not even have the Awakened Depths taken, and I was getting like far more frequently than I thought, I was getting Abyssal Depths. I've checked this on here because I might start running those too. I figured, well, whatever, it's just 1 point, but I've leveled up. So I think I'm going to try that. I think the Abyssal strat the Abyss strat with all those scarabs is what I see people talking about online quite a bit. So I'm just going to keep pushing that, try to see what level I can get. I'm going to try to hit level 100. I've never hit level 100 with a character, so that's going to be a goal. Level 97 is the highest I've ever gotten with, I don't know, probably that Tech Slam build I put last league. I know I've done it once, maybe twice. This is either the 2nd or 3rd time, so I think that's pretty cool. And, one other change. I am running Determination to stack armor. I'm also working up Grace. So this is at level 19. I don't know if Grace is going to be better because you get that you can double dip off of Grace because you get the evasion calculation turned into armor. I don't know, however it all works, but I want to see if that's better at level 20 than Determination. So I'm working that up. It's currently not better as it is. We've got 38,000 armor. If I swap over to this, we go down to 31,000. So I don't know if it's going to be comparable, slightly better, slightly worse, whatever it is, but I'm working on that. But otherwise, that is all the changes that I've got. Like I said, I'm going to take a little bit of a break from PoE for a little bit. Well, as much of a break as I take, I'm showed off in that last video. I showed off that Surgeon General build. I'm working on leveling this stuff up, but there's other things that I want to play and check out. I will be back and forth with this as I go, and I will be making some more Maven attempts and trying to get level 100 out of this. I don't exactly know what I want to do with the next skill or next passive points. I'll probably maybe pick up the endurance charge over here. I may end up taking out this life mastery and then putting that into this endurance charge here, because I have 3 points left. So there's 1, 2, and 3. If I take this one out and put it there, that's 4. So I may do that. Undecided yet. I got to get those levels out. And from what I gather, it takes a long time. Once you start getting into 98, 99, 100, it takes a while. So it's going to be a long grind. But anyway, that is going to do it for this video. We will catch you on the next one. Take care.